Hello fellow sim racers. Today I'm taking a look at the new Le Mans prototype Assetto Corsa mod by the VRC Modding Team. This representation of the frankly astonishing Audi R8 was released just before the weekend and joins the Bentley Speed 8 from the same stable to bring a little more diversity to the early 2000s endurance racing scene in Assetto Corsa. There's still the Panoz to come, but stick around to find out how the Audi compares to the very popular Bentley and to the other endurance racing cars of the period in Assetto Corsa. When the topic of dominant race cars is mentioned, it's not the Ferrari F2004 or the McLaren MP44 that I think of. No, those cars, those awe-inspiring, all-conquering machines had just 1 year to make their point. The Audi R8 prototype, on the other hand, won Le Mans 5 times out of 6 attempts. And they would have had a good shot at the 6th had the works team not stayed at home in 2003, allowing VW Audi Group's other asset, the Bentley Speed 8, to take the honours. The car has 63 wins to its name, 6 ALMS wins at Sebring in a row, 6 Petit Le Mans titles in a row, and an Audi R8 finished on the podium of every single American Le Mans Series race they participated in. So, I think it's safe to say that the Audi R8 is one of the most important racing cars of the last few decades. Which is why it's utterly ridiculous that it's taken until now to get a decent representation of the venerated machine in Assetto Corsa. The VRC Modding Team are well known in the community for producing good quality single-seater mods. But a couple of months ago they broke cover with pictures of 3 sports prototypes from the early 2000s, the Bentley Speed 8, which I made a video about in May, the ever-popular Panoz prototype, and of course, the Audi R8. I was pretty impressed with the Bentley, which aside from a few minor issues was a very nice piece of kit, so expectations were high for the Audi. And overall, it has to be said that the VRC team have done a sterling job with the R8. Starting on the outside, the modelling looks the part, and various visual configurations can be selected in the setup screen to represent the versions raced at Le Mans and elsewhere. This was also included on the Bentley, and on a number of recent releases from Racing Studio do the same thing, and I for one am very happy to see modelers going the extra mile to include some of these little touches. The cockpit looks great, as it did with the Speed 8, with quality modelling and excellent textures for the most part. However, there are 1 or 2 labels that seem to be a bit low resolution, and I hope this is improved in a future patch. But overall, it's safe to say this car is a looker. Driving the Audi R8 is, well, a lot of fun. I liked how the Bentley handled, but to me at least the R8 feels even better. It is, as you would expect, a little tricky to drive. It has a lot of power and needs to be treated with respect, especially for those of us with a heavy right foot. And in my limited time with the car and on the stock setup, it seems to respond best to smooth and considered control inputs. It's not a car that likes to be hustled too much. And this seems to marry up pretty well to the behaviour I've observed in onboard videos of the real car. That all being said, the force feedback is very communicative, and balancing the car on the grip limit is, on my setup at least, very easy and more importantly, very rewarding. As I mentioned in the Bentley video, VRC cars have, in my experience at least, always been a bit tricky to drive at low speed, which I gather is something to do with their particular tyre model. And that's the case with the Audi as well. So if you've tried a VRC car before and you like the way they behave, then I'm sure you'll get on with the Audi just fine. Moving on, and a word about the sounds. The distinctive raspy tone of the twin-turbo V8 is represented very well in the VRC version, as are the aggressive sounding upshifts. Importantly, there's also a lot of wind noise. This may not be the most desirable thing to hear, but it's an open-top car, so it is what it is. All in all, for me, I think the Audi just about shades the Bentley, though this could easily be because this car is shiny and new. So with that in mind, I'm pretty confident in saying that if you liked the Speed 8, then you'll like the Audi. They are, perhaps unsurprisingly, pretty similar in their approach and execution. I know I've said this before, but I think it bears repeating. It's nice to see modders continuing to bring good, high-quality content to Assetto Corsa this long after the official support for the titles ended. There are still plenty of big hitters out there that haven't seen any attention. Can-Am anyone? So I for one hope this trend continues. So that just about wraps up my initial impressions of the VRC Audi R8. If you're interested in downloading the car, then it's available from the VRC website for $4.50, and I've included a link in the video description. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, then it would be great if you could hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so you can see more content like this in the future. So all that's left to say is goodbye, thanks for watching, and enjoy the rest of your day.